day when all this will fade. But until then.
Welcome back to Kung Fu Maintenance. Today I wanted to talk to you a bit about LED lights. LED lights are pretty cool. This one is a 12 watt LED light with 950 lumens light output. It's a 3000K color temperature. I actually like the 4100 or 5000K color temperature a tiny bit better, but 3000 is pretty good. As you get lower in number, the color gets more yellow, like 2700 is pretty yellow, and as you get higher, the color temperature gets more white or bluish in color. So the lower number is a bit warmer, and the higher the number a bit cooler. You may want to mess around a little bit and try different settings, wattage. This one actually was too bright for me. 12 watts was a little bit too bright. I think a 7 watt might have been about just right. The original bulb was actually 650 lumens. This one was 950 lumens, so is about a third brighter, which was actually too bright for me. Again, you might want to experiment a little bit with color temperature and wattage to get yours just right before you run out and spend a bunch of money. These can be expensive, anywhere from $12 to $50 for an LED bulb, so it just depends on what you're getting. So again, you might want to experiment with it a little bit to find out what works for you just right. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about was getting the most money out of your LED lights and how to go with LED lights to get the most money out of it. There's always lights in your house that you use the most or they get left on the most, and if you're going to be changing to LEDs, they can be pretty spendy, at least at the moment, to change to them. I'm actually going to be changing this light out to an LED light because this is in the middle of two rooms and the light often gets left on. Now there's an adjustment for this setting here. Should be on one side or the other, a little wing nut and a screw that we can loosen the wing nut and then slip the whole fixture up a bit more to make the light sit in a better spot. There we go. That looks like that'll be just right. So I'll go ahead and tighten the wing nut back down. And I'll try to push that up so it'll sit a little more straight and flush. There we go. Anyway, this light gets left on a bit more, so if you're going to use LED lights, you may want to consider changing out your most used lights. And that way you get the most bang for your buck. You can reduce your total electricity bill. Try to get out of the higher tier bill settings by reducing the amount of energy that you're using. Anyway, that's changing to LED lights. I'm going to adjust that a bit more so it's more centered, but I can save this bulb for other uses. And so this is a 12 watt bulb. This is, I believe, a 65 watt bulb. Yes, it is. So 4 of these will equal one of these. So pretty cool. You can pretty quickly reduce your energy bill just by changing out the lights that you use the most often. Now, another cost-effective alternative is using compact fluorescents. They're a bit cheaper, and they tend to use a tiny bit more wattage, and you can also get different color temperatures with those. But that's an alternative. The LEDs are actually a little bit less energy, but it just depends on the light that you get. Anyway, that one was 950 lumens. This one doesn't tell me how many lumens it is on the bulb itself, but anyway, that's the change. I'll just straighten it out a bit and we'll be good to go. And certainly another good place would be your kitchen lights, especially if you know they get left on quite a bit. So changing out, like I've got 5 recessed lights here, but especially these 4 seem to be left on more often than others, and those would be my next lights to replace. If I'm going to spend the money, I'm probably going to recover the money that I spent pretty quickly on my electric bill. There's other lights that are rarely on, or like I've got a living room lights where I have more ambient light from the window, and these just aren't left on as much, so not going to be quite as cost effective to replace these with LEDs yet. And maybe down the road, but not yet. Oh, and there is one other side benefit for the LED lights as well as the compact fluorescents. If you live in an area that's pretty hot and you're spending a lot of money on air conditioning, the heat output from the LED lights and fluorescent lights is far less than the heat output from traditional incandescent bulbs, and so there's some energy savings there as well. Of course, if you're in an area that's cold, well, your light bulbs, the heat output might actually be helping you a little bit. But anyway, this is, the story a little bit on LED lights, just a little bit on an approach you can take to maximize the dollars you spend on saving some energy and saving some money. Thanks for watching Kung Fu Maintenance. Over and out.